Hey, you guys, it's Ani. Happy Friday. I intend your Friday has been amazing so far. If it hasn't, if nothing special's happened, I intend it happens after this video. I intend you have an amazing weekend, you guys. But let's begin with positive vibes. I've been wanting to share so much with you lately. Um, Before I forget, I'm gonna actually talk about this in the video a little bit, but my EFT course is out. Manifest your SP now through EFT tapping. So the links are going to be in the description box down below, you guys. I already have success stories from the course. It's only been out, I believe, a week or so. And those of you that have tried it out are already getting success, which I'm so excited about. I'm so excited for you. Honestly, EFT tapping is life-changing. I wouldn't share anything. I wouldn't like put a course out if I haven't seen results myself from that routine. EFT tapping. So if you guys are interested in something different than just affirming, something different than just like a regular course, honestly, consistency with EFT tapping creates huge breakthroughs. I'm actually going to be sharing a little mini success story from one of my clients that saw movement from it. But today we're going to be talking about, honestly, why it's so important to stay unshakable throughout your journey manifesting anything, whether it's a person, whether it's removing a third party, whether it's manifesting more money, why it's so important to not take your outside circumstances and information and let that really shake you or affect you in some way. I know a lot of people, even from the smallest thing, can get triggered and it can make them spiral. I know I was someone like that. Like, even when I would talk to my SP and in the sentence, if there was something mentioned that triggered me or I didn't like, or it made me think about like, maybe it's a third party situation, whatever it is, or it was like a friend zone situation, it would literally knock me off track and my state would completely change and I would have to get back on that state. And it used to take so long to get me back on that like proper state, but then I leveled up to a point where it would just take a second. Like it would take a minute, second, get me back on track. And then that causes you to manifest what you want faster and faster and faster. So I'm going to share this success story. You guys, it's a mini little one. For today, I'm just going to share a small one. And then I want to get down to the nitty gritty stuff. So my course client wrote, "Hi, Ani, I just wanted to say I got your EFT tapping course and it's only been a day and I already got a text from my specific person after a long time of no contact. Good job, girl. The course is amazing and so are you. Thank you so much, Ani. I will be consistent with this because I already see the huge breakthroughs happening as of now. I'm so grateful I invested in myself, and I'm so grateful that I put myself in a position where I decided to do what I think is right, invested in the course, and I saw movement. Oh my God, girl, I'm so happy for you. Like, I'm happy you invested in yourself as well. A lot of times, like, we don't really do that for ourselves. We're always trying to keep everyone else happy, people please, and all that, but then our life doesn't change. We don't see any movement, we don't see any progress, because if you do the same old thing over and over again and you don't change the mindset and you don't change your mentality or assumptions towards things, they just manifest in the same old way. So it's like life is moving on, but it's like you're stuck in the same cycle and you don't see changes. So I'm so happy for you that you made the decision. You literally put yourself in a new, like, in a new routine, a new thing, a new daily thing that you decided to do for yourself, and it paid off. And in a day, see, this is what I'm talking about, you guys. Like EFT is crazy. A lot of people think it's just tapping on spots, but that tapping does something to your subconscious mind. Like this is old, like ancient way of reprogramming the subconscious mind. It's like ancient, traditional ancient, like Chinese medicine, PCM. I can't talk right now. Like, sorry, I'm a little stuffy, you guys. But honestly, it's one of the first ways to actually reprogram the mind, because while you're hitting the points, you're awakening the mind into taking in what you're saying at the moment as you're hitting the points. And in that moment, nothing can really distract you. So your whole focus is on what you're doing, and all the attention, all the energy is there. So it's kind of like sleep affirmation tapes, because while you're doing sleep affirmations too, nothing's really distracting you. You're completely resistant free, and things are just, the intake is happening. You're feeding the mind, right? This is the same thing, but while you're awake, you're feeding the mind as you're tapping, and it's getting there right away. And a lot of people feel like a lightness right afterwards. Like they feel a lot of weight off their shoulders. They feel like yawning a lot. They yawn a lot, or they laugh. That just tells you it's working. I talk about it in the course. But yeah, if you're interested in Ani's EFT tapping to manifest your SP, link in the description. I also talked to someone today, you guys, actually, one of my clients, that in between us coaching together, she did my money course, and she did the Master Your Mind course, and she already manifested like $30,000 bonus from her job today. Again, like crazy stuff when you just stay consistent and you start reprogramming the mind. Like possibilities are endless. I forgot to say, you guys, get your drinks, get your snacks. I've been into like tea so much lately. So what I want to talk about, you guys, is one of the clients from today I talked to, she was talking to me about how her SP, everything was amazing when they first met. And I think she didn't really know how to manifest at the time they met, but everything was so good when they first met. And I feel like a lot of us go through that. And she's like, things changed after she gave me a little bit of like background information that she's been through like certain abuse. And she's like, after she gave me that background information, I actually read a book on the type of abuse she's been through. And in the book, it was stating how this person can be like very afraid to open up, very afraid to be physical, like they're scared of physical touch and things like that. And she's like, the more I read the book, the more like I took that information in, and I started thinking like, oh, I wonder if this person has these tendencies, right? My SP started showing it to me, and now it's become one of the circumstances on why we can't be closer, but it wasn't like that before. Now, the reason I even talk about this, you guys, and it's all valid. Like I'm not really talking about the abuse part of this. I'm talking about the fact when you take information in, when you feed information to your mind and you see it as a fact, and it can be anything. It could be, oh, this person will have these tendencies because they're showing up in this way, right? Or sometimes we say, oh, this person must be a narcissist because they did one thing that like narcissists do. So maybe they're starting to show narcissistic behavior. It's not just about that. It could be about anything. It could be you can sneeze and one person will think it's an allergy and one person will think it's like a very like dangerous virus. And you take that information in, whichever information you start taking in, you're going to start seeing that in your reality from If it's on you and you're second guessing yourself, or you're manifesting that for yourself, or you're manifesting it for others, you're going to see it. So what I see most commonly, though, is people getting information about their specific person and then ruminating on that for so long until it actually manifests into undesirable outcomes. For example, I used to do this with not being chosen. I would see one or two little things that bother me, and I would, instead of focusing on changing the assumption about it, because back then I didn't know, right? We all start off like not knowing. I would literally ruminate on those thoughts. I would think, oh my God, why did this person do that? Why didn't they choose me? Why do I feel this way? Why didn't they prioritize me in this second? And then that follows through with, oh, they didn't prioritize me again, and they didn't prioritize me again. Now I'm feeling not chosen. The more I feel not chosen, now what's the ultimate not chosen evidence that's supposed to happen? Manifesting a third party. Like, third parties don't just happen out of the blue. It does. I mean, sometimes it can, but it takes some time of not feeling chosen and not being prioritized, and it takes a lot of you thinking about it. If you're already in lack, if you're someone that's already in lack all the time, and you think of a third party, it could manifest fast too. So that's why it's so important to work on your self-concept and work on your inner world and to calm those thoughts within. Because honestly, if you're really solid in confidence, even if you think about a few things for a while, it won't manifest, because your inner world is just so much more dominant. That confident part of you is just so much more dominant. If you're in lack and self-concept's low, and you're kind of like walking on eggshells all the time, waiting for the other shoe to drop, to be honest, the undesired thoughts, that's why they seem like they manifest so much quicker. I've heard that a lot. A lot of people think, oh, the negative manifests so much quicker than the positive. Not for me. Like, for before it did, when I was in lack, it felt like the opposite would happen so much more easily than what I actually wanted, because I was in lack. Like, I was almost expecting it to happen. I was almost waiting for the shoe to drop. I see it all the time with my clients too. But then the moment we change it and we change into more dominant high self-concept, and we change into a more different mental state, all of a sudden they become they have the lucky syndrome. All things happen in their favor. Third parties are removed. Money's coming in like crazy. That's why I really want to advise you, stop really feeding your mind anything you don't desire. Now, I'm not talking like walk around and like walk on eggshells worrying about, oh my God, what did I just feed my mind? What did I just feed my mind? You'll understand by how you feel internally if you're off track. But when everything's okay, like, and you feel like, I'm kind of in a situation right now that I don't like the topic, I don't like the conversation, or the song I'm listening to right now is completely about, like, being unfaithful and not loyal, and I'm taking that in. I'm literally like, that song stuck in my head now. I'm thinking about how people are unfaithful and cheating on each other left and right. Like, those are things you don't want to fill in your mind all the time, because you're going to see more and more of that. Just like how I was talking about my client, like, she started reading a book because her SP told her something that's happened to her. She started reading a book, and she started learning about, oh, usually people that go through this, they'll act like this. So what did she do? She took what it said in the book as fact, and our brain doesn't care, right? Your brain doesn't care if what you're reading, if what you're looking at, or if what you're thinking is fact or false. As you like focus on it, it doesn't care if it's fact or false. It will show you more of that. Like, if you focus on my pink shirt long enough, you're going to start seeing people in a pink shirt. If I tell you this pink shirt is not pink, it's blue, and you start focusing on how my pink shirt is blue and not pink, you're going to start seeing blue shirts and pink shirts. So that's how neutral everything is. But so many people take in information. It's not even information. Like, let's say it's a behavior. Let's say your specific person behaved in a certain way. You know, they didn't say hello to you. Or, I don't know, they posted something and you made it, they posted something maybe negative and you all of a sudden think it's about you, right? You'll start experiencing that negative behavior from that person, even though maybe it wasn't even about you. You know what I mean? So I used to do this with really like the not being chosen stuff. Like I used to do this with like when my SP wouldn't be consistent in communicating with me every day, I would make it like, oh, okay, this means that, you know, they don't care about me. But I was being inconsistent in my state moment to moment, day to day. So I wouldn't see consistency from that person because I was inconsistent within. The moment I started being consistent with how I feel internally and how my self-concept is going to be unshakable, they started showing up for me consistently. And I know it's easier said than done, you guys. I know it's easier said than done. But you really got to make the decision to, like, do you want to keep seeing the same old inconsistent results every day? Or you want to actually now decide that, like, feeling that lack of peace inside doesn't feel good. So your priority is literally like, I just want consistent peace internally. I want my mindset at peace consistently. Like, that's my main focus. A lot of people approach this of like, oh, I want to manifest my SP. So like, I'm going to do everything possible to manifest my SP. You can manifest your SP, you can manifest texts, you can manifest calls. But if your inner world is inconsistent, I can guarantee what you manifest is going to be inconsistent. I see it all the time. I've done this for years and years, coached thousands and thousands of people at this point. But most importantly, I felt it on my own skin. I literally, through trial and error, I saw everything and all options possible. And I figured out what works and what doesn't. And the only thing I could say is for different people, different techniques. Not everyone is a scripter. Not everyone is a tapper. Not everyone is a affirmer. But doesn't matter what technique you apply, consistency applies to anything you want to change. Anything. Whether you want to be richer, you want to be more wealthy, like, I have clients that went from like they were making like $1,000 a week or $500 a week. Now they're making 5,000 a day. Like, completely like possible stuff. Like, I'm telling you, you are unlimited. But your consistency matters. I say it all the time in every single video, and I probably sound like a broken record, but I'm going to keep saying it until it sinks in. I have clients I've worked with for a very long time, and we started off like they just wanted to manifest like a text from SP, right? Or a call from SP. And we did, like, from the beginning, like we did. But because they weren't they weren't doing their homework like I told them to do from day one, because a lot of people don't trust. A lot of people don't trust that they're this powerful. And it's okay. Like, it takes some time for you to build that trust. Sometimes it takes enough consistency for you to see movement. And then even when you see movement, you still don't trust the movement. Even when you see evidence, you still don't trust it. You know how much movement I've received before I actually trusted this stuff? Like, crazy movement was happening, but I still was like, can I really get the commitment I want? Can I really get the relationship I want? Right? Like things would happen that have never happened in the years of me knowing my SP. And I would still question it. So I don't blame anyone for questioning it, but you are here to use your godly power. I was telling a client today, they were talking about how they're able to stay consistent for like a week or two in their new like mindset routine and all that. And when you coach with me, I actually give you I give you routine and I give you homework. My courses are guided with homework. My EFT is guided with homework. So my client was like, I listened to you and I know I was supposed to do the homework for this amount of time, but I only did it halfway through because I did it halfway through because I started things in my reality where like there were negative things happening in other areas of my life, and it kind of knocked me off track with the love area of my life. And he was literally like, I just feel like every time I try to change my life or every time I try to like better myself, something happens to kind of like bring me back to square one. And sometimes that does happen. Sometimes self-sabotage is a real thing. Sometimes when you're making a change to be consistent and you're deciding to change your life, you actually made the decision that I'm no longer going to feel this way. I'm no longer going to be someone that's not chosen, not prioritized. I'm going to be number one. I'm going to be in a relationship, in a commitment, no third party. Sometimes when you do that, your mind, your subconscious mind is like, what's going on? What's going on? It's kind of like a diet, or like think of it this way. It's kind of like you haven't taken medication ever, right? And then all of a sudden you take like a medication and you feel the side effects and your body's kind of like trying to push it away. It doesn't want it to stay in your body. That actually happens to me with like, this is a great analogy or example. So when I go to the dentist, the numbing stuff, it's lidocaine, I don't even know. The injection they give you to numb the area before they do anything to you, my body doesn't take it. And it's so crazy because they always ask me, do you drink a lot of alcohol? And I'm like, no, I don't. But like genetically, like that same thing happens to my mom, same thing happens to my sister, my brother. Like we all have this thing where like the numbing stuff, it wears off super quick. I've literally gone to dentists and they've had to inject me like 5 times in the same area to work quickly so it doesn't wear off. Like it's crazy. So that happens when you change your mindset. When you want to change your life, it doesn't even matter if you want to change it towards a positive outcome or a negative outcome. Any change you do, your brain is just like, no, not safe. We're in a danger zone. Like I talk about this all the time, but you need to know this because so many people, I've been talking about this for years, but still so many people ask me if it's normal. So many people ask me because they're probably not going through it at the time I'm talking about it. And then once they do go through it, they're like, is this normal? I just started to change my mindset, my assumptions, my perspective about my SP. And now all this like sabotaging thoughts and negative stuff is coming up. Yeah, because just like the injection I told you, like my body wants to get rid of it. The same thing your brain does to any change. It doesn't feel safe because you haven't done it, or you haven't done it for a long time. What you have done for a long time is a different habit, a different way of thinking, a different mindset. So now you introduce this new way of being, and maybe for the first week it's okay, maybe for the first 2 weeks it's okay, but like going forward, it's kind of like, what are we doing? Like this is starting to not feel safe for me because this wasn't dominant. This wasn't dominant before. Like, what are you trying to do? Are you taking me into like danger? So the body will kind of tense up. Your circumstances may test you. Universe doesn't test you, but there sometimes things happen to check if you're going to be the same reactor you've always been, or you've actually leveled up and you're not going to let this thing shake you. It's happened to me so much. It's happened to my clients so much where something will come up in their 3D to almost like trigger them or shake them. And they, because they know better, because, you know, when we coach, they tell me like, hey, this is happening. What do I do? Whatever. I keep them accountable. But I'm telling you now, so I mean, you don't have to take coaching for it, but like I'm telling you right now what to do. When something happens that seems like a test, that's just kind of testing your reaction. Are you going to react the same old way? Or you know better now, so you're not even going to give focus to what you used to like trip out over. When you don't, it's kind of like Super Mario. Now you're on next level. Now you're on the next level. This didn't phase you, so you become more dominant in the new way of thinking. The more dominant your new way of thinking becomes, the more the thought transmission, the desired thought transmission shows up faster. They show up faster. SP shows up faster. Their behavior changes faster in a desired way. Thought transmission is happening 24/7, you guys. Like, I remember when I was so reactive and when I would let everything like just shake me and I wasn't prioritizing my inner peace. My self-concept course and my Master Your Mind, Manifest Your SP and my EFT tapping course all help you master inner peace, calm, to get stuff faster. But when I was super reactive, I couldn't even see my thought transmissions working in my favor. Like, I wouldn't see evidence of it. But when I did master the inner world more and more and more, my thought transmissions were being shown to me in seconds from my specific person. Like, even just today, I saw a picture of something today, and I wanted to message my SP about it. But again, I got busy, I got caught up, and I didn't. And SP messaged me about it. You know, when we're working and we don't have like that time in the middle of the day to like chat about something because it's not super, super important. Like, we'll wait until we see each other in the evening or something to talk about it. Like, something like that happened. And I was like, okay, it's okay. We'll talk about it later. It's not like an urgent thing right now. Plus, I have to do other stuff, right? Literally, SP received my thought transmission, called me quick and was like, did you see that? And I was like, I always say like, how did you know I was thinking about that? But obviously I know. Thought transmission, you know? Oh, how did you know I was thinking about it? Right? We all done it before. But that's how you can get things faster, how thought transmission can work faster. You probably, you know, seen my videos on thought transmission. You probably heard other coaches talk about thought transmission, but then you're probably like, okay, where is the thought transmission? Why is it taking so long for me to see evidence of it? That's a main key factor. Your inner world's not at peace. When you're looking for it, you're not going to find something when you're looking. SP is not going to come when you're looking. The money is not going to come when you're constantly checking your bank account. If you ever experienced a manifestation, even if you've thought of someone and they've called you, even if you, I don't know, wanted coffee and someone brought it to you, whatever your manifestation is, look back and reverse engineer. Every single time you got a manifestation, it wasn't when you were in desperate need of it and looking for it. It was when your inner world was calm. That's what I teach you. I don't just teach you how to get a text. I don't just teach you how to remove a third party. I don't just teach you about what affirmation to say to get a call from your SP. I actually teach you consistency and how to get a full-on commitment and how to maintain it. because I've gone through the whole like how to get a text, how to get a call, like in the old days, in the beginning of learning manifestation, and I understood that it's not just that. You don't want just a call. You don't want just a FaceTime. You want actual commitment. And while you're working on actual commitment, those things happen. So those things happen in the middle, and like obviously natural way of like getting commitment, all these things fall into place. But the best advice I could give you if you want something faster is actually prioritizing your consistency. I probably will be a billionaire at this point if I got $1 for every time I said stay consistent. I would be a billionaire. I intend to get $1 every time I say stay consistent. Affirmation of the day. But no, I cannot stress enough how important it is to reprogram your mind, just like any other change you make. You must solidify it in the mind. Your mind listens to you. The things that your mind grabs on quick and manifests super fast, you don't have resistance to. I'm talking about the stuff you have resistance to. I'm talking about the stuff you have resistance to. I'm talking about you've been trying to get rid of a third party for like months and years and you haven't been able to. I'm talking about you're trying to marry someone, you're trying to have the commitment from someone that you have been trying to, but you haven't been able to. It's because you may start making the changes, but then the moment that self-sabotage comes in, you become shakeable. You're not trained to be that unshakable person from your circumstances, and I help you do that. That's why even a lot of people like, and to each their own, no judgment, but a lot of people give up on manifesting their specific person because they just couldn't stay in that faith and consistency in the middle of it because they didn't know how. But it can happen really quick after you make changes, consistent changes. All right, you guys, if you're interested in any of my courses and the new EFT tapping course, links are going to be in the description box down below. If you're interested in manifesting a few more $1,000, just like my client did, she got $30,000 in a bonus recently. Manifest money in abundance now. But I will see you in next Friday's video. I intend this video resonated, and I intend you guys have tremendous breakthroughs and miraculous things happen to you this weekend. I'll see you.